California might have just become a place where no business should remain, especially SpaceX. Now, that may sound like an exaggeration, but in reality, certain government parts here have gotten so politicized that they disregard the interests of the entire country. Perhaps California still sees itself as the economic center of the U.S. with various industries and feels it doesn't need SpaceX. So, what did California's government just do with SpaceX and Elon? What's the true intention behind this government action? Let's find out in today's episode of Alpha Tech. Last week was a mixed week of success and failure for Elon. On Sunday, he celebrated the successful test flight of SpaceX's Starship rocket, but days later, California's Coastal Commission, the CCC, rejected plans to increase rocket launches from California's coast. This led to a lawsuit by Elon in response to the CCC's opposition, in which he also is asking the court to bar the CCC from regulating the launch program. Falcon 9's rocket launch program has been enthusiastically supported by Space Force. In September, the agency proposed that SpaceX be allowed to increase its annual rocket launches at the Vandenberg Space Force Base, a military base on the coast near Santa Barbara in California, from 36 to 50. SpaceX also does commercial launches from this base to send their Starlink satellites into orbit. Of course, both of which assured that their respective organizations would closely monitor the impacts of rocket launches that might have on the nearby wildlife. The CCC's official duties include overseeing plans and regulating the use of land and water in the coastal zone. However, by their own admission, the decision to reject Falcon 9 program appears to be less about wildlife concerns and more about Musk's personal political opinions. Committee members voted 6-4 against increasing the number of launches. Citing a reason for their objection, Commission Chair Carol Hart stated, "We're dealing with a company the head of which has aggressively injected himself into the presidential race." Commissioner Gretchen Newsom added, "Elon Musk is hopping about the country, spewing and tweeting political falsehoods and attacking FEMA while claiming his desire to help hurricane victims with free Starlink access." Commissioner Mike Wilson piled on the anti-Musk rhetoric, saying of SpaceX, "The company's owned by the richest person in the world with direct control of what could be the most expansive communication system on the planet. Just last week, that person was talking about political retribution." Wilson's choice to use the term political retribution seems like an odd choice of words. After all, is the CCC not engaging in political retribution by Elon by rejecting his plans based on his political beliefs? Prior to the CCC's decision, there was some debate as to whether the commission should have any say in the Falcon 9 plans at all. Vandenberg Space Force Base contracts with SpaceX because the rocket launches provide useful information that aid the military. Now, considering the relationship between SpaceX and the military, this should classify Falcon 9's program as federal and thus not subject to the CCC regulatory discretion, as Space Force officials are arguing. The only obligation the military has to the CCC in this instance is to agree to mitigate the effects on wildlife, which it's already agreed to do. The Commission has repeatedly argued against the military, asserting that because Falcon 9 also serves Elon's own ends, it's a private activity and falls under their authority. Now, it'd be one thing if the CCC had any substantial and legitimate concerns about the coast's environment that haven't already been addressed by the Air Force and Space Force, but their decision seems to be rooted in disdain for Elon's comments on social media, which are completely irrelevant to Falcon 9. This has indeed not only affected SpaceX, but also the economy of the state of California. It's undeniable that California is one of the economic hubs of the United States. When we look at it, we might think that just leaving Tesla or X, especially SpaceX, won't really change the market there. However, in reality, SpaceX has brought a lot more to California than we realize. As one of the most prominent private space companies in the world, SpaceX has maintained their primary operations inside California, bringing numerous benefits to the state. The company's headquarters and main manufacturing facilities are located in Hawthorne, California, and the LA metropolitan area. This strategic placement has created a substantial economic impact on the region. SpaceX employs thousands of workers in high-skilled positions, ranging from aerospace engineering to advanced manufacturing, while fostering a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship that extends far beyond the space sector, contributing to California's reputation as a hub for technological innovation and skilled labor. Cali's economy benefits directly from SpaceX's presence through job creation, tax revenue, and the stimulation of local businesses. The company's operations have led to the growth of a robust supply chain inside the state, Many suppliers and contractors based in California support SpaceX's ambitious projects. SpaceX's ops in California have also led to increased collaborations with educational institutions and research facilities in the state. These partners have helped promote STEM education and advanced space research, ensuring that California stays at the forefront of technological advancement and maintains a pipeline of skilled workers for the future. So, we can see that the absence of SpaceX in California would make the region feel quite bleak, and the value that SpaceX brings is something that other businesses might not be able to replicate. Looking further, it seems that the California government is trying to punish Elon by attacking his company. They dislike Musk because of his outspoken nature and his ability to reveal uncomfortable truths. This has led to the perception that Elon is not particularly supported by government officials. However, Musk's decision to sue the CCC, along with plans for SpaceX to potentially move out of California, comes with many reasons behind it. Elon's volatile relationship with California has been quite storied. The tech tycoon launched SpaceX back in 2002 in Hawthorne, a city in the LA metropolitan area, and enjoyed a number of tax breaks and incentives over the years, including more than $3.2 billion in direct and indirect California subsidies and favorable tweaks to market mechanisms since '09, according to statistics from Governor Gavin Newsom's office. However symbolic, the move is likely to reignite the perennial discussion about San Francisco's doom loop, the idea that the city by the bay is trapped in an unstoppable decline. With its 800,000 square foot headquarters located in downtown San Francisco, X was one of the last remaining companies with substantial facilities in the area. Since 2019, the 20 largest tech firms have slashed the amount of office space rented in downtown San Francisco by half. Just last month, Twitter began seeking subleasees for its offices. San Francisco's downtown has been attempting to reverse urban blight for about 15 years. X, formerly known as Twitter, previously benefited from a tax break enacted in 2011 meant to attract companies to the mid-market area of San Fran, which has long struggled economically. The law was sunsetted in 2019, and the X headquarters departure could represent yet another blow to the area, where 46% of offices and 40% of retail spaces are vacant. Other companies that have left or downsized their operations in San Francisco since 2021 include Meta, Salesforce, Snap, Lyft, Block, Airbnb, and PayPal. Many employees and customers of Musk-owned companies will inevitably remain in California, making these moves more symbolic in effect than practical, experts say. Musk previously relocated the headquarters of Tesla, his electric car company, from California to Texas in response to the Golden State's coronavirus measures, which he called fascist as he clashed with regulators about keeping his facilities open in spite of the pandemic. Today, though, multiple Tesla factories are still in California, including one of its largest manufacturing sites, the Gigafactory in Fremont. As long as these companies still have an economic presence in California, the state will still have an effect on them, said Eric Talley, professor of corporate law at Columbia Law School. If you want to completely seal yourself off from the state, you would need to not only move your headquarters, but also stop making sales and stop manufacturing in California, and I doubt that's going to happen. How exactly the changes play out could be more pronounced for SpaceX and X than it could be for other tech firms, as Elon has been quite adamant about employees returning to in-person work. After acquiring X back in 2022, Musk ordered almost all his employees to return to the office full-time, demanding that they be extremely hardcore. SpaceX likewise has an in-office mandate for employees. Musk's announcement and targeting of Newsom on X sparked a back and forth between the executive and the California governor, who tweeted, "You bent the knee," implying Musk had pledged his loyalty to Trump. Musk then responded, "You never get off your knees." That's it for today's episode. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.